sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. The gunman suspected in a mass shooting in Georgia over the weekend was killed after a shootout with police. 3 officers were wounded. We have their conditions. And turning to the crossroads in Refugio, a woman and her unborn baby were killed in a rollover crash Sunday morning. Hear what the woman hit to cause her vehicle to flip. And happening overnight in Victoria, a man underwent surgery for a gunshot wound that he sustained in a shooting. Police are now trying to determine who is responsible.
On the outside, looking like a little bit of fog is forming up there in the Cuero area. See some reduced visibility there. Otherwise, keeping it cloudy and hot for the early morning hours. Sun will come out, the fog will go away, and the heat will be on. We'll give the details and some rain chances possible too. We'll talk about it in the forecast.
One local star has decided on his new home. Find out who and where he's going coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Estrain.
I'm Trey Manning.
And today it's the 17th day
of
July 2023. The time is now 6:30 on our Monday morning and it's National Tattoo Day. Now Trey, I don't have any either. But I think they're cool. I think that they are.
I know most people
beautiful.
Most people that get a tattoo or kind of representing a loved one or a situation they've been
in,
like
mom,
like a tribute to someone they love and care about. So I respect that.
Yeah, it is really, really cool. We actually have someone here, a coworker. He has the Lord of the Rings inscription. I think that's so cool.
Interesting. Yeah. Tell you what, that's a dedication on that one.
Well, what's inscribed for us weather-wise this week, Trey?
Let's get a tattoo saying, "Where's the cool weather?" Because it's not anywhere around here. It looked like a little fog this morning up there in Cuero area. So reduced visibility is there. Be careful driving on the outside there in Cuero and much of the area. And let's take a look at the temperature. 75 degrees in Victoria. That is with saturated humidity. Well, we are 100% humidity currently in the city of Victoria, with the feel-like temperature in the mid-70s or so with calm winds. And we're looking at the temperatures in the upper 70s, near 80 degrees along the coast this morning. Matter of fact, 80 degrees there in Rockport, and same thing in Palacios area. Move away from the coast, it gets a little bit cooler, just a tiny bit, still very humid, 77 degrees in Victoria, and pretty much the same up there at Cuero area to Hallettsville and also near Sweet Home area and Gonzales. And heat advisories in effect for Victoria County, as you know. Triple-digit heat index value again today, the 105 or higher. And the areas to the west, Beeville area, Karnes City, Gonzales, Seguin, San Antonio metro areas, and points to the west. This is excessive heat warning out here for heat index values approaching 110 or higher. It's very much in the dangerous category no matter where you go. So take frequent breaks. Use that break time to cool off. Drink some cold water with ice in it. And watch out for others. Make sure nobody gets overheated. Everyone remains safe. Quick look at the feel-like temperature starting off in the 90s this morning. 105 coming up by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Topping out at 108 to 109, potentially coming up by 6 o'clock in the evening throughout most of the Crossroads area. So temperatures like this, like we've been experiencing, we'll still got a little bit more of it to go. Try your best to stay cool, be safe out there. Hint of some rain chances coming in the forecast. When will that be exactly? We'll take a look at the 7-day outlook a little bit later on. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. The gunman who shot and killed 4 people near Atlanta this weekend was killed in a shootout that hurt 3 police officers. An hours-long manhunt for Andre Longmore came to an end in a Jonesboro, Georgia neighborhood on Sunday when authorities spotted the vehicle that Longmore was last seen driving and began pursuing it. They tracked him to a home where deputies confronted him. Officers say Longmore took out a gun and shot at the officers. 2 Clay County police officers and 1 Henry County Sheriff deputy was hit. All the officers are expected to recover from their injuries. It's unclear what the motive was for Saturday's mass shooting. 5 people have died and rescue teams continue to search for 2 children after flash flooding hit Pennsylvania's Bucks County on Saturday. Authorities say a severe storm caused flooding, catching many drivers by surprise and leaving them trapped on roads. When emergency crews arrived, they found several vehicles in high water and started rescuing people. The floodwaters swept away 3 cars. Rescue crews continue to look for a 9-month-old boy and his 2-year-old sister. A contract worker for Formosa Plastics fell to his death Friday morning in Point Comfort. Many reports say the man fell 40 feet from his scaffold. It's unclear if the man was wearing any protective gear at the time or if an experienced journeyman was with him before the fall. The worker's name was not released. We're currently waiting to hear back from the sheriff's office for that information. In a Formosa press release, they said, quote, "The investigation into the incident is ongoing and we cannot confirm the details at this time. We'd like to express our deepest sympathies to the contractor employee's family," end quote. We're learning new details about a vehicle rollover in Refugio County Sunday morning. Authorities say 33-year-old Gabriel Bro and her unborn child were killed in the truck after she hit an alligator and flipped. 5 people were transported to area hospitals after the crash Sunday morning. The vehicle was traveling on State Highway 35 near Farm to Market Road 774 when it rolled over. 3 children are among the hurt. The remaining 4 passengers are expected to make a full recovery. New this morning, a man was shot last night in the 4000 block of Calais Street in Victoria. Police are now trying to determine who is responsible. Police say the man suffered a gunshot wound to the upper body and was barely conscious when they got to the scene. He was transported to an area hospital in an unknown condition. No further details are released. 25 News now closely monitored the investigation and will update you as more details become available.
Officers responded to this location in reference to a shots fired call. When we arrived, we located a 34-year-old black male with a gunshot wound to his upper body. All we're doing is conducting the investigation at this time. We're just trying to gather more information. He's undergoing surgery at this time.
Police say this is an active investigation. Now to New York and the Gilgo Beach serial killings. A suspect described as a demon and an ogre is in custody, ending for now a years-long search. Now prosecutors are trying to build their case and possibly link him to more of the killings.
A new search for evidence in the case against suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann. Investigators on Long Island, New York, combing through this storage unit as they build their case against the 59-year-old architect and married father, accused of killing 3 women more than a decade ago and suspected of killing a 4th.
This is clearly a sick and depraved human being, somebody who is taunting victims.
Crime scene detectives were seen at Heuermann's home this weekend. Sources say investigators are hoping to find so-called trophies from the victims, such as earrings or locks of hair. They're also looking for evidence that could link him to 6 other local murders.
We're going to see if he's involved with the other deaths, and if not, then we'll continue to go after those that committed these crimes and hold them accountable.
Investigators say Heuermann was hiding in plain sight. The case took a new turn last year when a task force of investigators took a fresh look at the evidence. They linked Heuermann to a Chevy truck registered to him at the time of the murders, and similar to one reported by a witness when one of the victims disappeared in 2010. That witness described the suspect to police as appearing like an ogre. Earlier this year, a surveillance team recovered a pizza box with crusts still inside, which they say Heuermann had thrown out. They say DNA from the crusts matched a hair that was found on one of the victims. Meanwhile, associates of Heuermann are now coming forward, one sharing a voicemail she got from him.
"Hey, this is Rex.
Dominique Vidal was in a professional networking group with Heuermann. She says the two once talked about true crime podcasts.
And he asked me if I had a favorite case. And then he asked me if I knew about the Gilgo Beach murders.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Authorities say Heuermann Googled the Gilgo Beach investigation more than 200 times. He's pled not guilty and is due back in court next month. Missing Alabama woman Carly Russell returned home this weekend. The 25-year-old vanished on Thursday last week. While on her way home from work, she called 911 and a family member and said she saw a toddler walking on the side of an interstate. Authorities later found Russell's vehicle and some of her possessions, including her cell phone, but no sign of her or the child. Hoover police said Russell returned home late Saturday night and was later transported for an evaluation. They did not provide further information about her condition or where she's been since Thursday night. The investigation is ongoing. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on your Monday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. A power outage caused traffic to back up yesterday afternoon in Victoria.
I'm ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. The 2024 race is in full swing as the DeSantis campaign is going through a major shakeup. What the latest fundraising numbers tell us about where things stand now. Coming up.
Take a look at this. Yesterday's high in Victoria was 103 degrees. Very hot day again. Yesterday and today. We'll take a look at that. And rainfall, which are under normal, getting near 3 inches under normal. We'll see the rainfall headed our way. And take a look at the temperatures coming up in your forecast. Good morning. Current time is 6:41 on your Monday. And take a look at the future tracker here. We are zoomed out. Take a look at not only the state of Texas, but all the most of the continental United States. High pressure is still ridging in here, centered over the west, again, bringing in that northerly flow, which will continue to give us hot and dry conditions for not only us here, but the majority of the state of Texas for the next several days. But notice by the time we get to your Thursday or so, it begins to center itself further to the west again, which may release the hold a little bit and maybe allow for a very weak front to get closer to us by your Sunday or so to give us maybe some rain chances coming into play around here. Definitely looking forward to that. We'll keep the monitoring of that in the future tracker. And dry air in the mid upper levels of the atmosphere moving on through once again. See the kind of the red color here, and that assures us that it's going to be definitely hot today. Very dry, no rain. And keeping the temperatures in the century mark or even higher, both heat index value and the air temperature. We'll take a look at your full temperatures for the rest of the week later on in the full 7-day outlook. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. A 4-star receiver in the Crossroads has committed to play at the next level. Sports reporter Zach Brown has the details in sports.
On Saturday, 4-star Refugio Bobcat Ernest Campbell made a big-time decision as to where he will be playing, and he is taking his talents to Texas A&M University. The standout receiver did so in front of all of his family, friends, coaches, and teammates, announcing his commitment via a video reveal. The speedster narrowed his options down to Houston, Texas Tech, and Texas A&M. He had many great options, but he just liked the idea of staying closer to home. And yesterday, the Bad News Chairs took second place of the Crossroads Wheelchair Classic. The event took place at the Challenged Athletes Dream Complex. This was a 2-day event, and they hosted an exhibition game yesterday morning commemorating O.J. Johnson, who was an umpire in the league for years. He passed away last year, so their exhibition game yesterday was in his honor. And both the Astros and Rangers got wins in dramatic fashion. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone, just search Crossroads Today Plus. The race for the White House is in full swing as Republican candidates spent the weekend in early primary states. This as ABC News learns of a major shakeup in Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' campaign. And the 2024 candidates just released the latest fundraising figures, giving some new insight into where things stand now across the board.
2024 presidential races fired up, now less than 6 months out from the key Iowa caucuses. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis defending a major shakeup and shift in strategy for his campaign after sources say he fired roughly a dozen staffers with more dismissals expected. The team apparently navigating a cash crunch after hiring too many staffers early on.
We raised more money than Donald Trump did into his campaign, who of course was the former president, and yet they try to spin that negatively.
In Florida, GOP frontrunner Donald Trump taunting DeSantis for even entering the race.
And his establishment handlers are wasting such precious time and resources to divide the party.
The former president has yet to commit to the first Republican presidential primary debate in August, something his most vocal challenger, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, called cowardice.
Come on, Donald, get on the stage and defend your record. You know, if you want to be the nominee, you need to defend your record.
This as candidates release their latest fundraising figures. Trump raking in over $15 million, DeSantis with over $20 million, though he relied on big dollar donors. Candidates like Nikki Haley and Tim Scott in the middle of the pack. Christie netting just $1.6 million and Mike Pence at just over $1 million. Each of the GOP hopefuls vying to take on President Biden, who raised close to $20 million in the second quarter. One of his staunchest allies pointing to any third-party candidates as a hindrance after a group formed and is raising money on the idea of a unity ticket.
It is a fool's errand to think that a third party can win in this country. They will be a spoiler.
Biden's campaign closed the quarter with more than $20 million cash on hand, which is about even with Trump and rising GOP hopeful Senator Tim Scott. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Leading us to your viewer poll, you can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you think a third-party candidate could win the presidential election? Okay, let's take a look. 20% of you say yes, and 80% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. A power outage caused traffic to back up yesterday afternoon in North Victoria. Businesses, including the Victoria Mall, were also affected. The outage was caused by a down power line near Navarro and Zacklens Parkway. Traffic lights went out from Zacklens to Larkspur Street as crews worked to restore power in the area, which has since been restored. The time is now 6:46 on your Monday morning. Still to come, heavy flooding and landslides in South Korea. All right, time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Roger. We wish you a blessed day. Cheers to many more years. Much love from your family.
And happy 11th birthday to Alessandra. We hope you have a great day. We love you.
All right, and happy birthday to Caitlin. Happy 19th birthday to our princess Caitlin. Love Mom, Dad, Bubba, and Jeremy.
And R&B singer Jeremiah is celebrating a birthday today. He is 36. To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click on More, and under Home, you'll see the KVU Submit Your Birthday.
All right, the time is now 6:47 on our Monday morning, and we want to wish you a happy birthday. If you're celebrating one today, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good morning, good morning. Current time is 6:50, and we'll take a look at this. This is the 7-day future rainfall totals. Nothing today. Dry air over our region here, keeping the atmosphere very dry. Let's run this model over the next couple of days, and we'll see some changes in our forecast. All the way through Saturday, nothing around here. Hot temperatures and mostly dry conditions. But look at Sunday and even into Monday. We're seeing better rain chances. The weak front approaches from the northeast, maybe giving some rain chances around here by that time, Sunday to Monday time frame. So at least the models are starting to agree that there's a little bit of a change coming our way, which will be favorable for rainfall around here. Gotta wait till it gets here though. In the meantime, we're dealing with hot and dry conditions. Feel like temperatures well into the 90s by the early morning hours. 108 or so by 5, 6 p.m. will be the heat index value for the Victoria area today. Heat advisories and heat warnings in effect for much of the Crossroads region once again by this afternoon. 100 degrees today. Morning clouds, mostly sunny skies. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. Clear skies tomorrow, another hot day. 100 degrees or so for your Tuesday. And once again, extended forecast, keeping the temperatures on the hot side. Another rain chance, there it is, that we talked about coming in on Sunday.
The death toll from heavy flooding and landslides as a result of rains has risen to at least 40 in South Korea. That's from the country's Ministry of Interior and Safety, who confirmed the number to sources on Monday. At least 9 people in the meantime remain missing across the country. Roads, houses, and fields were among areas that were heavily affected by either flooding or landslides. More than 10,000 people across South Korea were evacuated from their homes because of the adverse events. Still to come on Sunrise News to know before you go. Someone fired gunshots into Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church.
Okay, here we go with weather here. Let's take a look at the feel-like temperatures throughout the day today, starting off on the hot side and getting hotter. By the time we get to 12 noon, already 91 degree feel-like temperature here. And by 6 o'clock in the evening, 108 feel-like temperature around the region, and even along the coast currently. In the, in the 80s there will be 101 or so from Seadrift area to the north and all the way to the area near Gonzales. So be careful out there. Heat advisories go into effect at 12 noon today. And so, best I can say, drink plenty of water, find some shade, and make sure everyone is safe and cool. 100 degrees today. Morning clouds, mostly sunny skies. And for the overnight tonight, We'll see clear skies to partly cloudy skies, mostly clear we'll call it, upper 70s for the overnight low. And for your day tomorrow, high temperatures near 100 degrees again, mostly sunny skies and hot temperatures of course. That'll take us through the rest of the time period. And finally some rain chances looking a little bit more favorable by Sunday.
Eyewitnesses say someone fired shots into Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church last week. Victoria Police is asking anyone with information to contact them at 361-573-3221 or 361-485-3200. Heavy rain has caused severe flooding in parts of New Jersey. In Warren County, multiple roads closed due to flooding due to the recent rainfalls and closing of numerous roads in the county. All transportation services for today are canceled. Leaders say crews are working to remove debris and clear the roadways as quickly as possible. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy declared a state of emergency Sunday night due to the severe weather. Severe storms moved through parts of Connecticut over the weekend, causing flooding in several areas. The heavy rain led to several road closures across the state. Leaders are urging people to avoid flooded streets due to severe flooding, and they're asked to find alternate routes. There were multiple calls in parts of the state for cars stuck in water. Victoria County Commissioners meet today at 10 a.m. at the Victoria County Courthouse. We have some items from the agenda. They'll consider an order enacting a burn ban in Victoria County. They'll also consider approval of a resolution authorizing the settlement of Victoria County's pending claims against Volkswagen. Virtual meeting options are available today if you cannot attend the meeting in person. Workers, labor advocates, and politicians gathered in front of the Houston City Hall to protest the passage of what they call the law that kills, House Bill 2127. The bill will do away with local rules that require water breaks for construction workers. Read this story and more from the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. The Texas Department of State Health Services has launched a fentanyl data dashboard. This is part of the state's One Pill Kills campaign, and shows and tracks fentanyl poisoning deaths. Texans can access information that shows fentanyl-related deaths from the past 10 years and by demographics or geography. Come see the dashboard. It's on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone, just search Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a last look at our forecast with Trey.
Hot temperatures again today, of course. Be careful out there. Heat advisories going to effect at 12 noon. 100 degrees today in Victoria. Heat index value approaching 100 a day by 5 o'clock. And looking at mostly on the clear side of the night with lows in the upper 70s, a few morning clouds if possible. And for your day tomorrow, keeping it near 100 degrees for your Tuesday. Sunny skies and hot, no doubt about it. A little bit of a breeze, but seeing some changes, some positive ones finally coming up by your Sunday of next week actually, 20% chance of rain coming in. Thankful for that. A weak front tries to get closer to us and increase the rain chances by then. But until then, it's going to remain very hot for the next several days. Of course, as like we have been seeing, no change there. Know your heat safety tips and use them. Drink plenty of water, find some shade. Make sure everyone is safe and cool. And of course, try your best to make it a great day today and stay cool, everybody. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey, and thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful start to your week. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. You can catch our newscasts, you can catch our stories, you can even see parts of Community Crossroads. And you can also join James, Don, Mac, Karina, and Gino today for 25 News now at 5, 6, and 10. Don't forget to send us those birthdays.